In my research into personalized learning and education, I kept encountering the word equitable. Each time it popped up, I felt a twinge of confusion. What did it truly mean? So I decided to dig deeper and figure it out. The first thing that struck me was how often equitable was tossed around in conversations about education reform. People were passionate, arguing about whether it meant providing every student with the same resources, or ensuring that each student got what they specifically needed to thrive. I leaned back in my chair, running my fingers through my hair. It seemed like a tangled web of interpretations. In one corner, some educators insisted that equitable education required identical resources for all students. Everyone deserves the same textbooks and technology, they would say with fervor, pointing to their own experiences of fairness. Yet, as I delved into discussions with others, it became clear that this viewpoint oversimplified a much larger issue. Others argued passionately against this notion. It's not about sameness, it's about fairness, one professor at a local university explained during a panel discussion I attended. He waved his hands animatedly, as if to physically separate the two concepts, equity versus equality. He suggested that equitable education acknowledges each student's unique background and challenges. A student from a low-income household might need more support than someone from a well-off family, just to reach the same level of understanding or achievement. I scribbled notes furiously as he spoke. This perspective resonated with me. The idea that equity meant recognizing diverse circumstances and providing tailored support rather than applying a one-size-fits-all approach. Confusion lingered like fog on an early morning. Then there were debates surrounding whether equity should focus solely on academic outcomes or extend into areas like mental health and community support. Some educators emphasized that for students to succeed academically, schools must also address issues such as food insecurity or emotional trauma stemming from unstable home lives. How can we expect kids to learn if they're worried about where their next meal is coming from? A fellow researcher had challenged during our last meeting. That made sense too. I recalled stories I'd heard from teachers who worked in underfunded schools. Their accounts often highlighted students facing incredible odds just to show up for class each day. Students who battled hunger, bullying, or family crises at home while trying to grasp complex math equations in school. I wondered how many people really understood this complexity behind equitable. Would policymakers take these varying definitions into account when crafting legislation? Would they realize that educational equity demands much more than simply leveling the playing field? As I continued my research, I stumbled upon historical roots of the term equitable. Its origins hinted at deeper meanings, fairness and justice woven into its fabric since ancient times. But today's context shifted those meanings significantly depending on whom you asked. Even among professionals in educational fields, perspectives diverged widely regarding resource allocation strategies. Should funding go equally across all districts or target those most in need? Some argued for weighted funding formulas based on specific student characteristics, while others championed equal distribution methods regardless of socioeconomic context. My head spun with conflicting viewpoints. Each new source only added layers of complexity rather than clarity. In classrooms across the nation, teachers implemented various approaches to achieving equity within their teaching practices, from differentiated instruction to culturally relevant pedagogy. But again, disagreements loomed over which methods best served diverse learners. How could so many educated individuals grapple with such divergent views on what seemed like a straightforward concept? As I sat at my desk, surrounded by stacks of papers and books marked with colorful sticky notes, determination surged within me. I would uncover the nuances surrounding equitable. If I could grasp its full significance within personalized learning frameworks, then maybe, I hoped, I could help bridge some of these gaps in understanding within educational communities moving forward. My phone buzzed beside me, a reminder about an upcoming conference on educational equity next week, and suddenly excitement bubbled up amidst the uncertainty swirling around me. Perhaps this gathering would shed further light on my quest for clarity about what it truly meant to be equitable in education today.